Thursday, March 19th, 2026, AGNDD intelliReport topic. Please do not resurrect Val Kilmer. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. Please do not resurrect Val Kilmer. The Top Gun and Heat star, who died last year at the age of 65, will reportedly return to the big screen via AI tech. Can we take a minute? By Evan Romano. Published March 18, 2026, 1 p.m. EDT. Val Kilmer was a part of some of the coolest movies you will ever see. Heat's fandom is somehow only growing after 30 years. Top Gun is so beloved it's become a shorthand. Doc Holliday in Tombstone is unbelievably badass. And I dare you to watch MacGruber without laughing hysterically at the villainous Dieter von Kuntz. Kilmer was well known for his long career that started with comedic roles and became far more expansive in the decades that followed. He worked all the way up to his death in 2025 after a battle with throat cancer. He was 65 years old. Kilmer himself may be gone, but through his work in timeless projects and everything they meant to us, the man lives on forever. That is, until now. A new report in Variety says that Kilmer's real-life death might turn out to be short-lived, on the silver screen at least. The article says that Val Kilmer will be fully revived via AI to star in a movie called As Deep as the Grave. In it, a figure with his likeness will play Father Fenton, a Catholic priest and Native American spiritualist. Kilmer was cast in the role 5 years ago, but never actually made it to set due to his ongoing health struggles. Now, with his daughter's blessing, Kilmer will supposedly have his role completed via this new technology. The movie, previously titled Canyon of the Dead, has been in production for nearly 6 years. Much of it was shot several years ago. The cast includes Abigail Breslin, Wes Studi, and Tom Felton. His family kept saying how important they thought the movie was and that Val really wanted to be a part of this. Film director Coerte Voorhees says in the Variety story, "He really thought it was an important story that he wanted his name on. It was that support that gave me the confidence to say, okay, let's do this. Despite the fact some people might call it controversial, this is what Val wanted." Is it, though? The idea that an uncanny technology, uneasy in likeness and concept, would bring a deceased actor's likeness back to perform in a movie where they never set foot on set is upsetting from any number of angles. Kilmer's family and estate are apparently on board in this case, but what happens when it's more contentious? Who's ready to see Sean Connery digitally inserted into a low-budget gangster movie? Or Richard Pryor popped into a direct-to-streaming comedy? What about the John Wayne Western standoff with Kevin Costner? Or more importantly, who isn't ready to see all of that? Kilmer's death was incredibly tragic. He was an artist who meant so much to so many different communities, but it's because he meant so much that this unnatural resurrection would be such a wound. Life and death are what they are. That's what grieving, together individually, is for. On top of being off-putting, it sets a precedent that flies in the face of the collective human experience. When Stanley Kubrick died in 1999, he was famously at work on a long gestating project called AI Artificial Intelligence. After his passing, his close friend Steven Spielberg picked the project up and finished it. People now consider it to be one of his finest films. David Lynch had several projects in the works when he died at the start of 2025, and his daughter, Jennifer Lynch, recently said that his unrealized scripts would be published publicly. When Heath Ledger died in 2008, he was in the midst of filming The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Jude Law, Johnny Depp, and Colin Farrell stepped in to play the character. These are the ways that late, beloved artists have always lived on beyond their passing. Even as the world tempts us with more and more ways to honor or avoid their deaths, at the end of the day it's the work, real human performances, that made us fall in love, and that will always be there. Evan Romano, Culture Editor. Evan is the culture editor for Men's Health, with bylines in the New York Times, MTV News, Brooklyn Magazine, and Vice. He loves weird movies, watches too much TV, and listens to music more often than he doesn't. Conversation. 4 comments. They had 23 hours ago. This was a role that he was going to do, and work in the project was carried out, so I see no problem with it being his last work after death. If they were trying to contract new movies they had never looked at, I wouldn't be okay with it beyond a digitized cameo like they did in Ghostbusters Afterlife, for example, which was a very sweet tribute. Swede trap. 22 hours ago? It's a slippery slope. If he was already contracted to do the film, I don't see the harm with permission from his estate. That said, what's to stop producers from signing all manner of actors to appear in films after they're dead? You could sign Tom Cruise up now for MI-29 and Top Gun 8. If he dies before then, no big deal. He was already contracted to do the film. Where does it end? And at what point does every new film become a distracting horror show of uncanny valley nonsense? Raven 99, 21 hours ago? Similar situation as Brandon Lee in The Crow, except with AI instead of CGI. I'd trust his daughter on this one. One reply. Add 1 DDA 7512, 20 hours ago, at Raven 99. Similar situation as Brandon Lee in The Crow, except with AI instead of CGI. I'd trust his daughter on this one. So a filmmaking decision might be objectively revolting, but if a family member gives his okay, then it's hunky-dory.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD intelliReport, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.